Okay, Chris.
Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want you to talk about President Obama and this tradition that's developing in terms of marketing for him of having the president be interviewed during the halftime or during the game sometime, okay?
Okay, let's do that.
All right, Dr. Audrey Guskey is our guest. Our number is 412-333-PCNC. If you want to comment on the Super Bowl, this is the time and place to do it. We will accept anonymous calls if you called in slick today, okay? Because of the loss. I'm Chris Moore. Stay with us for more on Pittsburgh Now. You ready to take a phone call?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go to the phones. Mary, hello. What's your comment or question?
I just want to say that I'm always proud of my Steelers, and I congratulate Green Bay. Good for them. It was a great game, and I'm happy whether we win or lose. Of course, I would prefer we won, but I'm happy for Green Bay. I really am.
Okay, well, fair enough. You'll be able to go on with your life's work, even though we lost, right?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, you know, hey, how many teams make it to the Super Bowl? We made it to the Super Bowl. We deserved it. And I'm just glad that, I don't know, all the way around, I think it was an awesome game, and congratulations, Packers.
All right, thank you. And it was a good game. A lot of Super Bowls have not been good games. I mean, right down to the last minute and a half, the outcome was in doubt if the offense had managed to go on.
Kept coming back, kept coming back. I think we were all sitting on the edge of our seats because we all thought they're going to do it. They're going to actually come back because we're a comeback team, and Ben has done it how many times? And when it didn't happen, I think we were all devastated. And our caller was a bigger man than me because I don't think I can congratulate Green Bay.
Before we get to the president, let's talk about Big Ben and his off-season, off-field troubles and the marketing of him as a player. Now, his jersey fell during the year, particularly with women. We had calls right here on this show, Dr. Guskey, from women who said, my son had a jersey, I took it away from him and threw it away. Right. They were really upset with his off-field actions. Do you think, from a marketing perspective, he has redeemed himself?
He's trying. He's moving. I think it's going to take a while for him to actually redeem himself. The problem that I found as I was watching all the pregame as well as during the Super Bowl, the actual announcers had brought that during the game to mention something about that incident about Ben, and I thought that's very inappropriate because you're playing a football game.
But they do it all the time. When Ray Lewis got into all kinds of trouble, they talked about him. Murder Incorporated, they were talking about, oh, and this player, he's overcome so much. His mother was an alcoholic. They talk about the pathology of these players all the time and what they've overcome.
I guess, but to me, you know, as a marketer, I'm thinking it's going to be hard for Ben's publicists and his agents to get him back as being one of the big, you know, players to market. You got someone like Troy Polamalu, who had the #1 selling shirt across the country because of the image, the wonderful image, the gentleness, and the fact that he is just so spiritual and a great guy and people love him. And I think it's going to take Ben a while. Will he be able to remarket himself? I think so, especially in this region.
412-333-PCNC is the number. Now, in recent years, the President of the United States has been interviewed during the Super Bowl hoopla, and it's been no different for the current president, Mr. Obama. For more background on what happened there, let's go to NBC's Mike Vaquera.
Free speech.
Mr. Obama sat down Sunday with a frequent critic, Fox's Bill O'Reilly, where the subject quickly turned to Egypt and the future of Hosni Mubarak.
Only he knows what he's going to do. But here's what we know, is that Egypt is not going to go back to what it was. The Egyptian people want freedom.
Though he has come close in recent days.
That an orderly transition must be meaningful.
Mr. Obama would still not openly call for Mubarak to step down before September elections.
You can't absolutely dictate what happens, but what we can do, Bill, is we can say that the time is now for you to start making a change in that country.
And while conceding that there are anti-U.S. elements within the Muslim Brotherhood, the president was eager to play down their influence over Egypt's future.
I think that the Muslim Brotherhood is one faction in Egypt. They don't have majority support in Egypt.
Later, the interview took a different turn.
Does it disturb you that so many people hate you?
No, Mr. Obama was asked how he felt about his harshest critics.
They hate you.
Even the folks who hate you, they don't know you. That's true. What they hate is whatever funhouse mirror image of you that's out there. and they don't know you. And so you don't take it personally.
You know, Dr. Guskey, I thought that was a legitimate question from probably one of the people who hates him the most.
Right.
But his answer, the president's answer, what did you think of that, the Funhouse mirror?
I think it was an interesting, he was obviously trying to be very political. I think that he approached it very well, because it's true. It's not that they hate him personally, they hate perhaps his policies or his plans for the country. I thought that was a tough question, that O'Reilly, and it sort of shocked me. But, you know, I guess it was a fair question. And I think Obama handled it pretty well.
What do you think of the marketing of the president when it comes to that? Here we are midway through his term almost. There are so many opponents who don't want him reelected, don't want to see him have a second term. Do you think it's a good idea to come on during the Super Bowl hoopla and submit to this kind of rigorous questioning?
Well, that was very interesting, but keep in mind, Chris, it's become a tradition. Typically, and you know, I don't know how many years it's been going on, but the president has been interviewed beforehand. And so I think he was, in a sense, required or forced to do it for various, you know, publicity reasons. I think he handled himself well. The questioning was very tough. And, you know, it's a tough time, as it typically is with the economy, with a lot of the political unrest. But I think he handled himself well. As far as marketing the President Obama, he's gifted at that. I think that's how he got himself elected. He is very smooth. He knows how to you know, handle the media.
Yeah, but it's going to take a lot more than smoothness to get him a second term.
Oh, yes.
All right, 412-333-PCNC is the number. Dr. Audrey Guskey is our guest. We're talking about marketing the president, marketing the Super Bowl, marketing the products associated with it, and the game, too. We've got one more segment where we can take your comments and questions at 412-333-PCNC. Stay with us.
Kensington Dental accepts most insurance.
Nina, hello. Welcome to Pittsburgh Now.
Hi, I just wanted to make a comment. My name is Nina. I'm from Homewood. I wanted to say I'm proud of the Steelers, and also on the Bill O'Reilly statement, I don't think he really speaks for the general population. I think he's part of the have and the have-nots, and I wanted to see Obama be reelected next term to see what he can really do for America.
Yeah, but you do recognize that a lot of people do not like the president, and that O'Reilly was asking a legitimate question on their behalf, right?
I just feel that he doesn't speak for America. I think he's dividing America and not bringing us together. So I think that's very important.
All right, thank you. I appreciate the call. What do you think?
Well, you know, that's why you have Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals, and so you've got different points of view. Me being the conservative Republican, I a lot of times tend to side with O'Reilly, but I thought that question was a little bit unfair as well.
Okay. All right. When we go back to the commercials, just as we round this up here to go back and look at those, were you at all disappointed in the commercials this year? We talk about the all-time favorites. How do you rate them as a crop of commercials compared to years past?
Well, Chris, as a professor, I would tend to rate them probably B- this year overall.
Okay.
And the reason for that is I think there were some good ones, there were some really bad ones, which is always the case. And I'm probably biased because I was watching the game for the game, and it was hard for me. I'm with my family, and my son would say, pick up your pen and take your notes, because it would be like, oh, it's a commercial again.
Your son is reminding you
He was reminding me to do my homework. But overall, I thought they were, you know, I think the problem is that because they're spending so much on the ads to get them on air, and it's so stressful for them to create fabulous ads, that, you know, they just didn't make it this year. I think they were trying to be conservative in a lot of ways. There was some humor attached to them, but it wasn't, you didn't have the big, powerful, classic ads like the Mean Joe Green ones, or the 1984, which is a classic that we remember from 1984 when Apple was introduced. So a lot of those types of commercials that are really epically involved, or even the cats, hurting the cats, you know, some really cleverly done. You had your E-Trade Baby, which is, you know, has been around for a while. You had your monkeys from Career Builder, but I don't think there was anything that's going to stand the classic test of time. So overall, I would say they were okay.
Just quickly, the Budweiser, usually they're with the Clydesdales and real kind of classy kinds of things.
Yes.
They got away from that, you think?
Well, they had the Clydesdales back this year, but it wasn't highlighted as much. So, and Bud Bowl, if you remember those classes from years and years ago. But overall, I would say, well, you know, the Super Bowl ads took a second, you know, they took a back seat to the game itself, because the game was
All right, Dr. Guskey, we appreciate you and the extra time that you gave us
Thank
today.
You. It's great
Okay,
to be
it was
here.
always great.
Go Steelers next year. We'll get them.
All right, we'll get them next year, right? All right, I'm Chris Moore, back with one more thought in just a second.